bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get up to Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? What? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
He leaves this one for Howard. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Green, 39! Green!
He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Time to see how Atlanta will line up defensively. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch. But nothing doing on that one.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Green, 39! Green, 39!
They'll set up to throw. He completes it to Bryant. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 13 carries, 53 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. third down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
Just 3 weeks of games left in the NFL regular season. What's it going to take for him to win the MVP? What's it going to take?
Whatever it is, if he wants to strengthen that candidacy, no time like the present.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I think. Not only does he have to play the clean game, no picks, things of that nature, he has to have at least one significant play that we'll talk about all next week. That'll really give him a higher profile.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 20 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That goes for a gain of 31.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
It's real easy to express how much you love about Julio Jones' game because when you watch him perform, you see a little bit of everything. You see speed, you see strength, you see the power with the run after catch. But what you don't see is the work he puts in during the week, and you also don't see this. A #1 receiver, one of the best in the league, that doesn't act like a diva.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way.
Receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
A give to Howard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Let's go.
Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Green 39! Green 39!
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Offside defense.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
The penalty is declined.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides.
Let's go.
He'll drop to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90.
This is Howard on 2nd down. Dances by him. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The screen pass here to Cohen. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, when we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
We'll look now at the lineup defensively for Chicago. And right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make, because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
On second down, here's Ryan. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 14 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. And hang on here. Freeman shaken up, remaining on the ground after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's Coleman on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself, at this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
And this is a rocket pulled in by Cooper, complete. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. 10-zip our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Here's Ryan. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And this is incomplete.
I would say it would probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They're going to look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
3rd and 2, now Ryan. And he'll have his man, that's Cooper. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority one.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
All right, here we go. Blue line.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
He'll look to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
It sets up the fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They go play action here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Shakes up, and with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Onto the field now come the Bears. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. Fielded at the 33. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
You can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure on the passer.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made that time by Kevin Dodd. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Ryan on second down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Brings up fourth down. Solid coverage by the Bears D. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Now Ryan on first down. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Get up!
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Bryant's extra point up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit, and it's an early lead there for the Saints. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And he's been effective in their winning, so it makes it final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Tackle made there by Frank Clark. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start in the AFC South, a division matchup between Tennessee and Houston. And it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. Corey Davis, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Get up!
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, they run with Howell. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They pitch out to Howard. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They go with Howard again. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
39.
They'll set up to throw. And Robinson with a big catch. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A great move in there, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take what you can guess.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
That's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try. And Lambo will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Third and long, it's Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Caught out left side by Robinson. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through. all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Now back to throw. It's complete to Robinson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. It came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around it.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
To throw is Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Ryan now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. So out comes the field goal team once more. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. His throw incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
To throw here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Bryant. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so...
And Freeman lost the football. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Ryan leaves with Freeman on the draw. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wear down the other defense. We'll see. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Atlanta now coming out on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game. And then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Freeman again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally get a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll set up a throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Holding. Receiving team.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding. Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Coleman. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Were you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Falcons, the win is their 8th on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss might knock them out.